Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jarvi vlog. It's another Thursday morning, so we're back here bringing you some of the hot topics in the labor world. I'm Zach.
And I'm Allie.
Bill can't join us today. He's on vacation. We won't say where. It's going to be a guessing game. Check in next week to find out about Bill's vacation time.
I know that's why everyone watches, to keep up with Bill. So
That's literally why. So this week last week we talked about strategies for retention, for keeping employees happy, keeping them engaged, and keeping them motivated. Because it turns out that wages and salaries are not exactly all people are looking for these days. They're looking for the added extras. So we gave you a few strategies for that. Definitely check in on that vlog from last week. This week we are talking about the ongoing evaluation of employees and how that kind of helps your retention. And if Bill were here, he would definitely say recruitment starts at retention.
Yes.
So if you are considering changing or altering your evaluation plan for your employees, this is the vlog for you. We are here at the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce in downtown Grand Rapids. They've got a new location. We've just taken a look at this amazing location.
Yeah,
if you get a chance, stop in.
Be fancy.
Yeah,
Be
very fancy. Thank you very much for the coffee and for the water.
And the water.
Tasty. Okay, so Bill always says recruitment starts with retention. And it's kind of because good talent's hard to find. With the unemployment rate so low these days, good talent is extremely hard to find. And once you've put a lot of time and effort into training an employee, onboarding them, and developing their talent, and making sure your goals align, you don't want to lose that employee, right? You want to make sure that you understand what they're looking for. And if you're kind of getting off track, you want to make sure you get them back on track with your company goals, right? Alignment at all times is pretty key. So a lot of places will do, I've heard of yearly evaluations, quarterly evaluations. We're going to talk about some of the positives and negatives of that, right?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people dread performance reviews. Like
It's
when
true.
You hear, oh, my boss wants to have a performance review with me this week.
Yeah.
I think it makes people kind of get that pit in the middle of their stomach.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
We want to kind of change the perception of that.
Yeah.
'Cause performance reviews can definitely be something super valuable, not only to your employer, but also to you as an employee.
It's true. It kind of gives you a reaffirmation of your goals, a new look at what you're after in the company, and it also gives you a good baseline for where you're at now and where you can take that. So we always recommend monthly performance evaluations, right? There's actually a tool out there called 15.5, and we cover that in one of our webinars that we just did last week, that actually offers you ongoing performance evaluation. So there's no actual time that they do it. It's literally every day, from the CEO all the way down to the entry-level employees, or it should probably be this way, right? From the CEO all the way over to the entry-level employees, are always doing performance evaluation. So that's a little extreme, right? Like that's something that you kind of want to take a look at. But like, Allie, what do you think some of the benefits of an ongoing or a more regular performance evaluation would be?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the overall largest benefit is that you're not sitting there wondering for months on end, like, where do I stand in a company? Where do I stand with my boss? And where do I stand with my team? So being on a schedule that's a little more frequent, you're able to have those conversations to understand where you are and like what's going well, what's not going well, and how you can just sort of reach those goals. And you can much more easily tell your boss, like, hey, these are my career goals. These are kind of the stones that I want to hit on my career journey. So I would say that's like the biggest one. Another one is to ensure employee success. So that's just like going over and looking at, the projects that your employees have worked on that they've really enjoyed and the stuff that they haven't enjoyed. So you can really hone into what kind of makes those employees tick, and then they'll be more excited about future projects in their role in general. And then finally, it kind of also, on the flip side, lets you weed out who's really on board with your organization. So
It's true.
If someone's not super thrilled about their position or their role, even about the company itself, it kind of lets that come out sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. And you definitely don't want to wait a year with an employee who's not happy. Because if an employee's not happy in their position, it means they're not achieving their best either. And you don't want them achieving not their best with your company, because that holds both of you back, right? So again, aligning goals and looking at the end results. If you wait a whole year to do that, that's 364 potential days that you're missing out on better for both of you. And again, like you kind of said earlier, like it leaves that pit of feeling in your stomach, you know? If you know performance evaluation is an ongoing thing, there's not that sinking feeling when it's that time of the year or that time of the quarter. You expect it. You're looking forward to it maybe in some cases. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think just kind of going along with that too, it lets you identify the different pain points that your employees have. So instead of, your management being kind of everything is great, everything's rosy and dandy, because they don't understand maybe some of the little day-to-day pain points that your employees are facing, it kind of opens that playing field where there's a conversation to be had.
Absolutely. And a good business should always be changing and adapting to new conditions. If you're doing the same thing you were doing 10 years ago, maybe it's working, but maybe it could be working a little bit better. And your relationship with your employees and your staff and your team members is definitely part of that. So that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to look for us again next Thursday morning. We're going to be back for another Jarvi vlog. We haven't picked a topic yet, but that's how we roll.
Us.
Yeah. We're going to go, since we mentioned the webinar in this, we're going to go ahead and post the webinar link in the comments below. Sometimes we offer these webinars. Feel free to join them anytime. We generally don't charge for them. But I think this one will help a little bit with this conversation since Bill's not here. And he talks a lot in that webinar about some of the strategies that we touched on today. So thanks again to the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce for hosting us today. Thanks again for the wonderful coffee.
And water.
It was a wonderful pick-me-up in the beginning of the day here. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.